What's something people underestimate because it has a low barrier to entry but actually is very skillful? Driving. Defensive driving, maneuvering, feel of how big your vehicle is. My dad told me, "You're driving a 2-ton guided freaking missile, pay attention." When he had me driving in empty parking lots as a kid, it always stuck with me. Sounds like your dad was my dad because he said the exact same thing while teaching me how to drive in empty parking lots as a kid, lol. Home cooking. Anyone can throw something together. But to make stuff that actually tastes great, and to also have enough of a repertoire that the family doesn't get tired of your meals, that's a lot more commitment. Genuinely, managing a household well is a highly skilled job. Sure, anyone can pour a bowl of cereal for the kids, but keeping a mental note of how much cereal for each kid, which kid likes what bowl for cereal, making sure those bowls are clean, whether you have milk, making sure there's still enough milk for coffee after etc. is a mental load. And that's just cereal's mental load. Substitute teaching. You don't need any experience, just an associate's degree. Subbing is really difficult when done well. Most teachers don't leave clear plans. They will often leave information in shorthand or forget to give you important information because it is so secondhand to them. The kids don't respect you and take advantage of your ignorance. I was a substitute. Now I'm a teacher and my sub-plans tend to be 5 pages long because I want to cover all the possibilities. Legit had a sub leave a note once, "I don't have time to read all this." I left very simple sub-plans recently, 1 page, bold headings for each class period, and it was all super easy stuff, like telling them there was a worksheet or directing them to the online classroom for something I had already uploaded. The worksheets were grouped by class period and labeled clearly with a sticky note. I came back and my students said the sub told them I didn't really leave anything for them and just ignored them for most of the hour. One student saw the clearly labeled worksheets for her class period and passed them out herself. The bar is so freaking low. I used to sub before I became a teacher too. I preferred it when teachers left actual work instead of nothing because bored kids are not that fun to deal with. Leadership management. The world is full of genuinely poor people managers who have been promoted for all the wrong reasons. Being an exceptional leader-manager is a teachable skill but has to come from a place of desire to lead, not simply a pathway to more money. Honestly, a lot of great leaders out in the world have absolutely no desire to lead, which oftentimes, not always OFC, makes them an even better leader because they aren't biased with some desire for control or power. Cleaning, especially home cleaning. Most people don't know how to clean homes efficiently and properly. They either take too much more time than required or clean only superficially, when not both. Can you please shed thy wisdom? Read the labels of your cleaning products. Like half of them are just repackaged bleach. You can save so much money just buying generic bleach, washing soda, acids, ammonia, caustic soda, detergents, etc. A lot less frustrating when you know which chemicals actually do the job you want to do. A bunch of musical instruments fall into this category, with the most obvious being bass guitar. Yes, it is absolutely easy for almost anyone to pick up an instrument and play Van Halen's Running with the Devil on bass. On the other hand, a good bass player completely changes the feeling of live music. A bar band with a good rhythm section is so much more fun than a guitarist's ego project. Can I ask you, friends with knowledge of bass, is it worth knowing even a basic understanding of music theory and notation, etc., or is it not necessary if someone is talented enough? If someone tells you, this song has 2 chords, G and D, can you play that? Can you find those notes on your bass? If so, you know music theory. It doesn't have to be verbal, it could be those 2 letters written, or it could be those 2 notes on staff paper. Music theory isn't mysterious. Someone who can hear a song once and play it with others has good skill. But if they don't learn those other means of communication, they will limit what they can play. Mending, I'd add to that the ability to do minor alterations. Incredibly overlooked skills that are very easy to pick up. Everyone can gather some levels and slap a book on their tool with an anvil. But to make the most of it you have to build an XP farm. Also, collecting one book is a thing. But if you want to enchant your entire setup, you must have some infrastructure first. For me, it's photography. Phone cameras really made a lot of people feel like pro photographers. being able to give good instructions. It's astounding how many people actually can't do this. You ever find a popular cooking website and wonder why the food isn't as good as you might expect? One of the core reasons is that the instructions are probably bad. They'll omit steps, assume a certain level of basic cooking process that isn't written down, and lead to subpar results. You ever read an instruction like, "Sauté onions and garlic for 5 minutes"? What's implied, and typically not written out, is that you shouldn't add both ingredients at the same time. If you cook garlic for 5 minutes in a hot pan, it will burn. You add it in the last 30 seconds. Stuff like this is everywhere. The ability to teach, instruct, and actually package up information is a real skill that so many people don't have. Thank you. I got so sick of my colleagues back in the hairdressing days who would tell the apprentices to just blow dry their clients and then have a go at them for not doing it like they wanted. Like, give some actual clear instructions maybe? They are here to learn, and for this you have to invest some time into teaching, mentoring, and eventually coaching them. I guess this is what you get when most of the qualified people learned the same way. Same in my current role in project management. I'm seeing a dark future ahead where ingrained skills get lost because the old guard is passing the torch to the new guard without as much as an explanation of how they fulfilled their role. This is why technical writing pays as well as it does. Also software design. It's also why prompt engineering is so important for AI. Almost all manual jobs and construction, repairs, mechanics. These folks know more than most professionals. I'm a landscaper, and just saying that gets me shit on by most people. However, I've been doing this for the majority of 25 years, started when I was 13 and had a few breaks along the way, and in that time have developed a skill set that is unique and in demand. I make a lot of money fixing other people's mistakes. My husband is a painter, a professional foreman with 2 decades experience. Everyone thinks they can paint, but I promise you there's a massive difference between what you can do and what he can do. Truck driving. People drive like absolute morons around trucks. It takes a good deal of skill to both protect them from themselves and get to your destination efficiently. Also, no matter the level of professionalism the driver has, the duration they drive for becomes dangerous due to monotony, physical exhaustion, and stress. The fact they have as few accidents as they do is astonishing, honestly. Short order cook. I still haven't mastered cracking 6 eggs into the skillet at once. Dancing. Very low barrier to entry. Everyone has a body, and most people have limbs and hearing. But watch some folks who are very skillful, and it's very impressive. Learning a second language. Everyone can learn to say hello, but conversing about day-to-day activities is much harder. The polyglot YouTube channels really get me. Spending 2 weeks getting to a B1 level of speaking comprehension for category 3 and 4 languages is impressive, but it's definitely not fluency. Agreed. Learning a language to the point of fluency takes years and, in my opinion, cannot be done online. You have to live and breathe the language and culture every day. I'm extremely impressed by people who learn a language through YouTube and Duolingo. But there's a big difference between being good and fluent. Fast food register worker. Doubly so for drive-thru. You ever been served by somebody who is actually good at it? It'll reinstall your faith in humanity. 2 answers. Air traffic control. This job is respected, but I still think people underestimate just how hard it actually is. Security. Yes, there are a lot of cardboard cutouts, wannabe cops, and morons. But actually good security guards are often kind of all-purpose first responders, and we usually learn on the job, with nowhere near the training cops, social workers, AMBOs, etc. have. Plus, noticing the range of hazards, security risks, and security breaches and communicating that effectively is a genuine skill. A really good security guard has a lot of skills, but a really dumb guard can poison the good will for the rest of the team very easily. I know it's not the same at every company, but being an administrative assistant or an executive administrative assistant, it usually requires a business degree, but work experience counts over a degree. May seem easy, but it takes a lot of skill. Most admins have more than one business partner. Multitasking and organization are key. Your job is to make their life easier, take care of the tedious tasks, manage calendars. If you can't multitask, stay organized, adjust quickly to changes, then business slows or stops. The second most powerful person in a company is the CEO. Bagging groceries. Do you have a similar story? Leave a comment and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more videos like this one.